If this is a real account and a real post by Travis Hunter's girl now, she posted the heart eye emojis and the dollar emojis. Travis Hunter's gonna be in the NFL. If you fuck another athlete, that's like his friend. I don't give a that's like his friend. His fraternity, which is very small. It's kind of so. This is why I can't understand when these women go from one athlete.
Liana Lenny, the wife of NFL star Travis Hunter, has always been a hot topic when it comes to messy relationships. And if you didn't know, whispers have tied her to multiple NFL players, even her own husband's teammate. Now here's where it gets crazy. Travis Hunter's rise from college sensation to NFL rookie came with more than just his $46 million contract. The 2024 Heisman Trophy winner didn't just face pressure on the field. He got caught in a storm that had everything to do with his wife. Hunter and Liana's love story started back in college around 2022, though nobody can pin down the exact timeline. What looked like a regular college romance turned into a drama-filled saga the moment Travis became a star. Suddenly, every little move the couple made was picked apart by fans and gossip blogs. Things took a sharp turn in December 2024 when leaked clips showed Liana in questionable situations with other men.
Same tats, too. A eater! Ain't no way.
Tattoos matching and all. Ain't no way people could ignore that, and the footage painted a picture of cheating that seemed to stretch back before the marriage even happened. From then on, her past became a talking point, with people pointing to patterns of blurred boundaries.
So I drink. I don't drink a lot, but I drink, and I used to party and stuff, and he would literally drive me, sit outside for hours while I'm inside like partying, and then take us home. Like, he never tried to be like, oh, just because I drink, you can't drink, or...
Her appearances in music videos, flirty online energy, and social media ties with other athletes raised eyebrows about where her loyalty really stood. Then the drama exploded when Bo Wow himself stepped in, warning Travis to leave her after a screenshot surfaced showing her supposedly leaving flirty comments on NBA star Anthony Edwards' Instagram. It was later proven fake from a parody account, but the damage was already done. The loyalty rumors just wouldn't die. Even DJ Academics weighed in, saying some of her moves might be explainable, but others were way out of line. And the most explosive claims dropped in summer 2025, right after she married Travis in May. Rumors spread about an alleged fling with one of his Jacksonville Jaguars teammates, complete with supposed DMs and even pregnancy talk. Add TikTok into the mix, and the story went viral overnight. Clips of Liana breaking down in tears only poured more gas on the fire, sparking nonstop marriage rumors and online debates. Then came another shocking layer. Reports claim Travis Hunter ignored advice from his mentor Deion Sanders about locking in a prenup. That single decision could cost him big time if the marriage ends, with whispers flying about possible divorce demands worth nearly $40 million after less than 90 days of marriage. By August 2025, the whole saga turned into a full-on media circus, with fans tracking every update like it was a reality show. Meanwhile, the mystery around the alleged Jacksonville Jaguars teammate kept fans on high alert. With no name revealed, people dissected every move, every sideline look, every social media like, all in hopes of exposing the man linked to Liana. But Travis's story isn't the only time an NFL locker room has been rocked by betrayal. There's history of teammates crossing that line. This time, a betrayed teammate went public and refused to take his pain in silence. Enter DeMarco Murray and Brennan Clay's wife. College teammates are supposed to be bonded for life, sharing a brotherhood that goes beyond the field. For Murray and Clay, their days at the University of Oklahoma under coach Bob Stoops should have built a foundation of trust. Instead, it laid the ground for one of the messiest betrayals the NFL has ever seen. From 2007 to 2010, DeMarco Murray lit up the field at Oklahoma, rushing for 3,428 yards and locking himself in as a future NFL star. Meanwhile, Brennan Clay was stuck on the sidelines, managing just 127 yards as a redshirt freshman in 2010. The dynamic was clear. Murray was the chosen one, destined for pro glory, while Clay was fighting just to be noticed. But what nobody saw coming was how Clay's personal life would collide with Murray's in one of the most public teammate betrayals ever. Clay's girlfriend at the time, Gina D'Agostini, an Oklahoma student, moved in the same circles as the players, and her presence eventually became the center of the storm. With athletes hanging out in the same spaces, boundaries blurred, and messy relationships started to brew. By 2011, Murray was drafted in the 3rd round by the Dallas Cowboys and wasted no time making a name for himself as a key piece of their offense. Clay, on the other hand, wasn't as lucky. He went undrafted, got a short chance with the Denver Broncos, but his NFL dream fizzled before it ever really started. The paths couldn't have been more different. Murray became a league leader, even topping the NFL in rushing in 2014, while Clay was left to face life after football almost as soon as it began. Clay and Gina tied the knot in 2013, while Murray married actress Heidi Muller in 2015. But the contrast in their careers, one thriving, one sinking, would later be seen as a key ingredient in what happened next. Because on November 11th, 2014, Brennan Clay set social media on fire with shocking accusations. Clay blasted Murray on Twitter, alleging that his own wife had been having an affair with Murray. He posted what he claimed were text message screenshots between Murray and Gina, and they looked way too personal to pass off as just friends. Clay even claimed the affair dated all the way back to their Oklahoma days, suggesting years of deception that carried into their professional lives. And what made this case different from most rumors? Clay came with receipts. Those text message screenshots, even partially redacted, pointed to an ongoing, inappropriate connection between Murray and Gina that fans couldn't ignore. And when Gina filed for divorce from Brennan Clay in December 2014, citing irreconcilable differences, the timing was hard to ignore. It came just weeks after Clay's public claims, making it seem like his story might hold weight. Clay's way of handling the situation was wild for the time. Instead of keeping things private, he went public, claiming he had hundreds of text messages as evidence, though he only dropped a few for the world to see. That move made people wonder, was he lashing out in raw heartbreak, or was this a calculated play to damage Murray's image? Either way, the fallout was massive. Murray, on the other hand, stayed completely silent, and that silence spoke louder than words. At the time, he was in the middle of a career-best season, rushing for 1,845 yards and securing Pro Bowl honors. With so much at stake, engaging in messy back and forth could have been career suicide. But fans were split. Was his silence a quiet admission of guilt or a smart move to avoid making things worse? By early 2015, Clay was still on his campaign, telling reporters he had all the proof needed and that Murray's refusal to deny anything was suspicious. This next case was different. It became tied to one of the most shocking and heavily watched trials in American history. Enter Marcus Allen and Nicole Brown Simpson. Their connection to O.J. Simpson turned a private scandal into a national obsession. Marcus Allen and O.J. weren't just teammates on the Los Angeles Raiders. They were close friends, bonded by respect both on and off the field. Simpson, already a football legend with the Buffalo Bills, joined the Raiders in 1978, while Allen was drafted in 1982 and became one of the league's most dynamic running backs. Nicole Brown had met Simpson back in 1977, marrying him in 1985, and through that union, she became part of an elite circle of athletes, celebrities, and high society in Los Angeles. It was in this world of glamorous parties and team functions that Nicole and Marcus Allen first crossed paths, their connection growing from the Raiders' social scene and OJ's personal gatherings. On the surface, everything looked normal, but behind closed doors, Simpson and Nicole's marriage was anything but picture perfect. From the very beginning, it was marred by jealousy and violence. In 1989, Simpson even pled guilty to spousal abuse, a shocking moment that exposed the darker truth about their relationship. What the public once saw as a Hollywood fairy tale marriage had really been a cycle of control, suspicion, and pain. By October 1992, Nicole had filed for divorce, officially ending their turbulent 7-year marriage. But the damage was already done. The history of domestic violence cast a long shadow and set the stage for one of America's darkest chapters. On June 12, 1994, Nicole Brown Simpson and her friend Ron Goldman were brutally murdered outside her Brentwood home. The crime stunned the nation, and all eyes turned to O.J. Simpson as the prime suspect. Just days later, the world was glued to TV screens as Simpson led police on the infamous white Bronco chase before his dramatic arrest. As the trial of the century unfolded in 1995, a shocking new rumor entered the courtroom spotlight. Whispers of an alleged affair between Marcus Allen and Nicole Brown Simpson.
So, why would anyone assume that Marcus Allen, the very good friend of O.J. Simpson, Allen would allegedly sleep with his ex, Nicole. According to Marcus Allen's lawyer, Ed Hookstratton, quote, in building their defense, Simpson's lawyers obviously felt it would be beneficial if they could show that their client had not been jealous of Nicole.
This wasn't just locker room gossip anymore. It was a scandal unfolding on the world stage. During the pre-trial chaos, things got even more explosive when reports surfaced that O.J. Simpson told police he believed Nicole had been involved with Marcus Allen.
So you mean to tell me that Johnny Cochran would try to pull one black man down to save another, allegedly? Oof. Well, Ed went on to say, quote, what angered me was the fact that all this was making Marcus and Catherine into two more victims in this awful mess.
Allen was dragged into the courtroom spotlight and forced to testify under oath. He flat out denied any affair, insisting he and Nicole were nothing more than friends. Still, the shadow of suspicion lingered. When the trial ended on October 3rd, 1995, with Simpson's acquittal, the whispers didn't stop. If anything, they got louder. In his 1996 book, I Want to Tell You, Simpson alluded to being jealous over Nicole's friendships, though he stopped short of naming Allen directly, but the innuendo was enough to keep Allen's name tied to the scandal. Then came a 1998 Esquire interview where Simpson doubled down, hinting that Nicole had admitted being attracted to Allen. At that point, Allen was suiting up for the Kansas City Chiefs, but beyond his sworn testimony, he refused to comment further. The silence only made tabloids hungrier, and the story became a recurring headline in NFL's biggest betrayals lists for years. Even documentaries like ESPN's O.J. Made in America in 2016 touched on Simpson's jealousy, but none could prove an actual affair. Allen, who entered the Hall of Fame in 2003, continued to keep his distance from the scandal, while Simpson's later 2007 to 2008 robbery trial kept their names linked in the press. But the facts remained. There was never hard evidence, just hearsay from Simpson and Al Cowlings versus Allen's sworn denial. Nicole's diaries, which surfaced during the trial, mentioned other men but never pointed to Allen specifically. At the end of the day, Marcus Allen had denied it under oath, in a murder trial no less, and no proof ever surfaced to suggest otherwise. But what happens when there's actual confirmation, not rumors, not hearsay, of someone admitting they dated their partner's teammate on purpose? That's exactly what happened with Kelly Stafford, wife of Super Bowl winning quarterback Matthew Stafford. Their romance traces all the way back to the University of Georgia, where Matthew was the star quarterback from 2006 to 2008, and Kelly Hall was navigating campus life. Their relationship was messy from the start, with Kelly later describing it as hot and cold, full of commitment issues and blurred lines, and her own jaw-dropping admission years later made it even messier. She openly confessed to dating one of Matthew's teammates just to make him jealous.
Our college relationship was, the typical college, I would say, relationship where there wasn't really one. Because he didn't want one. I dated the backup to piss him off. Like that was the type of situation we were in.
You dirty dog!
Listen, he deserved it, okay? He deserved it.
That backup is crazy.
Matthew's like this genuine soul, and then it was the bad boy, so he
but he's the backup. Like, if I'm Matthew, I'm sending the offensive line after him. Like, get this guy off the team. Get him out of here.
I don't think he saw the field after that.
A move that sparked endless debates about loyalty, games people play in relationships, and whether love in sports circles ever follows the same rules as the rest of us. The on-again, off-again nature of Matthew Stafford and Kelly Hall's college romance opened the door for drama that would later explode into public gossip. During those breaks, Kelly made one move that would go down as one of the boldest plays in college football relationship history, and it involved Joe Cox, Stafford's own teammate and backup quarterback for the Georgia Bulldogs. From 2006 to 2009, Cox was on the roster, mostly sitting behind Stafford until he finally got his shot as starter in 2009 after Stafford left for the NFL. But in those college years, when Kelly and Stafford were on the outs, she admitted she made a deliberate choice. She dated Cox, not out of love, but as a calculated strategy to get Stafford's attention. In the tight-knit world of college football where team loyalty runs deep, dating a teammate's love interest is crossing a line you don't come back from, and Kelly knew exactly what she was doing. The The personalities made the story even spicier. Stafford was seen as the Southern gentleman, calm, genuine, and grounded. Cox, on the other hand, had a reputation as more of a bad boy, a direct contrast that only heightened the sting for Stafford. Kelly even joked years later that Cox didn't see the field after their involvement, hinting her choice might have affected his career, though it's unclear if that was coincidence or consequence. In 2009, Stafford went first overall in the NFL draft to the Detroit Lions, with Kelly still in the picture. Cox went undrafted, had a brief run in the Arena Football League, and then faded out of the sport. By April 2015, Stafford and Kelly tied the knot, seemingly putting all the messy college chapters behind them, but the story didn't stay buried forever. On June 12th, 2024, Kelly Stafford appeared on the Off the Vine podcast with Caitlin Bristow, and in a candid moment, she dropped the bomb. She admitted point blank that she dated Cox during a break with Stafford, not by accident, but as a move that worked exactly how she wanted. No regret, no apology, just a confession that the strategy paid off. On June 26th, 2024, Kelly Stafford tried to clean things up with a public apology on Instagram stories, this time aimed directly at Joe Cox's family. She admitted her confession put Cox, his wife, and their kids in an uncomfortable position, something she hadn't fully thought through before going public. Kelly stressed that Matthew wasn't bothered by the revelation at all and insisted she and Cox were still on good terms, but the media had a field day. Outlets like Sports Illustrated, The New York Post, and Outkick ran with the story, framing it as one of the wildest confessions ever from an NFL spouse. For some, it was nothing but scandal, proof of how far she once went to play games with her man's emotions. For others, it was old college drama with no impact on Stafford's NFL career. Coverage also touched on gender dynamics, pointing out how Kelly seemed to face harsher backlash than male athletes usually get when they admit to messy past behavior. Either way, Kelly Stafford had shocked fans everywhere by openly admitting she dated her husband's teammate on purpose, and it was a bombshell that fans still debate. But while Kelly's story had receipts straight from her own mouth, not every NFL scandal comes with evidence. Some are built on nothing more than whispers. And that's exactly what happened when Baltimore Ravens lineman Ben Cleveland got caught in the middle of infidelity rumors. Drafted in the third round of the 2021 NFL Draft, Cleveland carved out a career as a reserve guard. With his low-profile position and quiet marriage to his college sweetheart, Kendall Moore, later Kendall Cleveland, his life was far from the spotlight that quarterbacks and star receivers face. For years, there was nothing but football and a private family life until October 17th, 2023, when the Daily Mail dropped a bombshell. The tabloid claimed Kendall was involved in a cheating scandal that had put her marriage under stress. Anonymous sources even hinted a Ravens teammate might have been involved, but no names, no proof, nothing concrete. Unlike DeMarco Murray's situation, where text messages surfaced, or Kelly Stafford's outright confession, this one was based entirely on vague whispers. No screenshots, no photos, no witnesses, just speculation. The lack of details left fans frustrated, and the Daily Mail's reputation for sensationalism only made things worse. Sure, the story gained clicks, but no major outlets like ESPN or The Athletic touched it. On social media, some users threw out wild guesses, even suggesting names like Lamar Jackson or Mark Andrews just because of their fame. But those rumors were quickly shut down since there wasn't a shred of evidence. Neither Ben nor Kendall ever addressed the claims, and the Ravens stayed silent, which is typical for teams when it comes to players' personal lives. By 2024, the story had completely fizzled out with no follow-up reports, no new allegations, and no escalation. Ben Cleveland played in just 4 games that year, but it was chalked up to injuries and depth chart issues, not scandal. With no receipts and no voices stepping forward, the rumors simply died out. It was a reminder of how fast gossip can spread and how quickly it can vanish when there's nothing to back it up, and that's a wrap. If you made it this far, drop a comment and let me know which of these NFL betrayals shocked you the most. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and tap the notification bell so you never miss out on the next big story. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.